That socket works really nice getting that out of there. As long as I'm here, get this seat belt out of there. I'll lay these out here and then I will come back and label them later. Well, when I'll get them put away. Out of there. There it goes. Yeah, there was a screw missing here in the middle, which threw me off a little bit. Now that I have that out, let's get the trim out, rocker trim out. Let's see if I can get this seat out. I took all the bolts off long ago, but I couldn't get the seat belt out before. Let's see how heavy this guy is. So once you get the seats out, well, that's the seat belt anchor. There's where the bolts went. And just look at the trash under here. And I've cleaned this car out and vacuumed under the seats and tried to get stuff out several times. But man, the amount of stuff that gets down in here where I couldn't reach. If you haven't ever had one of these apart and you're trying to figure out how to get this interior trim out, I did take out all the fasteners and I showed that, but there's when you pull this panel out, there is a seat belt. There we go. When you get the panel out, the body has these little rectangular holes, and there's a clip on there, and these clips are so old that they're breaking pretty easily. And I have a new clip, and when it goes back together, I bought some of these at one of the restoration houses, and that clip will snap in there. But these are so old and brittle that when I wiggled it, it just popped loose. So let me show you, get closer to the camera. I mean, these may seem obvious, but you have that little clip, and it's got threads in it, so that when you get to the back, you can run these threaded nuts or threaded plastic bolts in there. But they do double duty. So this one, what I thought I was going to need to do is get one of these longer tools and get in underneath here. And I probably actually still will need to do that. Because what you want to try to do is get in between the, you see how brittle that thing is? You want to try to get in between the head of that fastener and pull these guys up. But what I'm actually going to do is end up with the, come on, kind of wiggle at it. But see, all this plastic is very old and very brittle. So like that. And then you end up with just that piece, and then there's a metal bracket that's actually holding it to the plastic. So when I go back together, this piece will have to get installed in that metal bracket, and you can see the little ears on it that will it'll go in and snap in, and then we'll be able to take this guy and I should be able to just push the panel into that nut, and we ought to be able to go back together. I'm going to look at these guys real hard too, because it may be time to replace them, because they're also, that one feels kind of brittle and not as soft. But that's what's holding the panels on when it comes time to take things apart. Alright, let's keep going here. Let's see if we can get this seat belt out of here. There it goes. Well, that guy's got a little bit of corrosion on the threads on the outside. Now I'm going to move over to the panel on the other side. I need to get this panel out but it's trapped here, so in just a moment. Okay, get that one loose enough that we can get the other one out from underneath. Okay, then we got to get that seatbelt retractor loose. Alright, now, yeah, that wire's pretty crunched. Somebody got that one smashed. You can see the copper. So I'm going to have to repair that one. It got crimped between the body and the retractor itself. So before I take it out of here, I need to find where it connects. It should be close by. it is right there. I need to be gentle with that so we don't break the connector. But I need to pry that tab just a little. There we go. Take the hide that out, and I'll put that screw back for now. Just so I don't lose the screw. Okay, so if I sneak that out. This bottom one actually should be ready to come out. Gotta be gentle with it. It's underneath this. Let's see if I can get it at the bottom. There it goes. Slide out the speaker panel first. Alright. Get the seat belt through the hole there. There we go, like so. So when you pull these apart, you got little plastic, I guess you'd call them tabs that go up underneath. That one out of the way. And then, okay, this one's free. Guy out of here again. There we go. Get the tabs out from under there. Get outside here. Gotta sneak that wire out of there. And once again, this clip, well, there's two of them, three of them. They're all just popping out on their own. Boy, I haven't done anything to break them, but it also could be that they've been broken a long time. These panels didn't really feel like they fit very well. But if you're taking them apart and you need to get in there with a tool, so basically, there's one, about 6 inches back here. And then there's another one about 6 inches further over. And then there's another one here at this underneath that luggage bin. You might be able to, I might be able to reach through there. Now it should be free. Well, I think I need to take a minute and empty that out. The previous owner had a lot of stuff in that little bin. It was pretty heavy. Let's see now if I can sneak it out of there without all the tools and stuff in there. feels like it's a little bit hung up. So, there we go. Three clips, this big cardboard fiberboard bin, and we're clear. I have a few extra clips, but I'm going to have to probably purchase some more. I didn't expect they were all going to be broken. But let's set this aside. Some chunk of plastic trim. I'll have to find where that goes. I've got everything pretty well opened up here. And there's another one of those little broken clips. There's one in the corner. Well, it does look like I have a wiring harness out of grommet out of position here. I need to check that out and make sure it's make sure that it's intact and not because the way that's down there, it's kind of up against the sharp metal, and it could be wearing into the wires. The well's all in pretty good shape. So at this point, I think I've got everything done that I could get the cargo carpet out anytime I want. I don't need to quite yet. So I think I'm going to pick up all the parts I just removed and organize all the fasteners, and then I move up to the driver's seat to be the driver's seat and the radio, console, and the left kick panel out of there. And I'm going to be down to it here pretty quick. Now let's get these driver's seat fasteners out of here. These things have been really tough, so rather than just using a Phillips screwdriver, I've got a sharp bit. In fact, this is a DeWalt that they call for drywall. But number 2 Phillips. Let's see if we can get these dudes backed out of here. Keep a lot of pressure up. Pop, there it goes. Just walk out the carpet. It's not easy. There we go. And you do want to watch which way these go, because based on the other side, they aren't identical from side to side, even on the same seat. They've got different profiles to follow the floor pan. There one goes. And that came out a little easier. Oh, more trash under there. I'll have to bag them up that way, so when you first look at them, they've got a slot in about the same spot. They look like they ought to be interchangeable, but when you get down to it, they aren't. And I also have to watch out because I keep snagging myself on the sheet metal here. If I didn't have a thick shirt on, jacket on, I'd have trouble. There we go. It really helps to wear the gloves. I've been tearing my hands up lately from not doing that. That one's going to need a longer wrench. Let's try this one. It's a 13mm. It's a little bit longer. Sometimes just a couple extra inches makes all the difference. Well, I got the front bolts off the seat now. So I can take it out any time, but I'm going to leave it here so I can sit in it while I work on the console. This button just got a spring clip and it just comes off. This one has a snap ring in it. I need to get my snap ring tools probably for that. Well, I got my snap ring pliers, and this ring is small enough that I actually wasn't able to, snap ring pliers didn't fit the little holes. So I took 2 sharp tools and gradually spread it out, and actually 3 sharp tools, and got that little external clip out of there. My pins were just a little bit too big a diameter to go in there. Okay, and then there's the knob, which was damaged. That's why the tape. I mean, it was when I bought the car, this was stuffed underneath one of the seats. I didn't even know that it had a knob. All I had was this this stick sticking out. Thought it should. Yeah, so look at that. Sure, I need to take the handle off for little T15 Torx. We'll get the plate off. I don't think I need to actually take these 2 out. Now we have a light bulb for night lighting. I did disconnect the battery. I left it for quite a while because I wasn't really getting into anything electrical, but I had disconnected the amps way early. But pulling all the radio and all the stuff out of here that I'm going to do, figured it was time. Looks like a couple of 7mm. Yes, that looks like it. Before we get too far here, I need to get the radio back out of here. Difficult getting those connectors off. I thought maybe I could lift the top part, the upper off, but it doesn't want to separate because it's up against the instrument panel. So without taking the cluster, it's more than the cluster. Because this section's actually all molded in, you can't take that off. So, got one more fastener I think here. The radio, there's also supposed to be another bracket up here under the radio, but I think that's that one's gone because they pulled it out when they put in the. But I am on it with a socket right now. So 10mm. Just about where I can get it with my finger. But okay. That goes into the bottom of the instrument panel. Hand lift. There we go. Just had to open the lid a little bit. Okay. Alright, there we are. Okay. Now I turned the camera off for a bit because I was trying to get these connectors loose, and I finally did. It just took a lot of fiddling around. It wasn't worth letting it run. But there's the top part of the console. And you can see the switches on the bottom. Set that aside. I'll scratch anything else up. But those are the connectors. And these guys, you got two latches. And every time I'd slip one latch and get it started, and I'd move over to get the other one, this one would latch back up again. And so they were kind of like rocking back and forth. And getting both of them released at one time was quite a challenge. So I'm going to just let those sit here for a minute, and then I'm going to mark those to make sure that I don't accidentally get them reversed, because you wouldn't want the switches going the wrong way. Two more 10 millimeters here holding it to the floor. I just should have gone ahead and finished taking the top part off before I got here to the bottom, but I was trying to find a way to do it to take it as an assembly, and I guess that just doesn't work. So here's two more screws. Pretty much done. Pull this back, let's see if it'll go. And that's the console. I'll get this seat out of here. Well, now all I have is the mess. A lot of tools and a Jiffy Lube receipt from 1990. I'm going to turn off the camera, and I'm going to start cleaning things up and putting tools and parts away, because I just need to pull this out yet, which oughtn't be too hard. Now I've got all the pieces out, so if I clean the junk, I should be able to start peeling the carpet out. This is what the interior of the car looks like, with everything stripped out, so that I can remove the carpet. Been at it for a couple of days, and it's now evening and I'm about ready to take a break. I've swept out everything that I got with a shop vac. It probably sounds odd to say I'm going to vacuum the old carpet before I take it out, but there was so much junk in it, and particularly glass, still glass from broken windows from years ago, so that I really didn't want to spread that glass around, drop it on the floor, the pavement, and so forth. But just going to take one last look at how this thing lays out before I start removing the carpet. Got everything pretty well in good shape. I did disconnect the ground wire here. I have to make sure I put that back. But at this moment, things look pretty good. And what I think I'm going to do is, like I say, let it sit tonight. And in the morning, I'll probably peel it out. And I'll probably do is lay it out on the driveway. Just open up the garage door and lay things out and make sure that the new one looks like it lays over and matches up properly. Well, I'm ready to get the carpet pulled out of the car, and the first thing I'm going to do before I start removing it is to go around with the camera, with the video, and just take a look at how it's laid in there and how much overlap, what's there, so that when I put the new in, I kind of know where I need to trim, because the carpet company says they give you a couple extra inches, and in most cases, so I need to see where it lays and where I'm going to need to trim some back. So here goes. So here in the left rear, it's kind of lined up with the body sealer, and then runs up on the top right up against the edge here of the sound deadener. Down in the well, it makes the turn up and comes up just about to that edge there. If I come over here to the spare tire well, there's about an inch or inch and a half that runs over the side into the well area. And again, the cargo section runs right up to the body sealer, and there's the sheet metal, so there's about an inch overhanging the edge of the sheet metal. And you can see the crease where the trim sits, so I want to make sure I have enough sticking underneath there. Now if I come around this way, you got seat cutouts for the trim for the where the seats sit, and the attachments. Let's go around here on the left side here. So this cuts in, goes right around the brackets. That all looks pretty good. Again, makes the cut, comes up against the seat belt. Retractor, actually around to the edge of it. So that looks good. Comes up just short of the pinch flange there at the door, about a ½ inch short, but there's plenty based on where the trim sits. Oh, you can see how nice that carpet is where it isn't soiled or isn't faded. Get a look here at the cutouts for the shifter and the parking brake. The seats basically just need spots for the bolts to come through. Try to get a look without the shadow. So again, there's an inch or two here. It sneaks under this stiff piece of insulation. Alright, so you can see where it goes up underneath the dash, around the pedals, underneath the HVAC ducting. Let me move to the other side. Alright, so you get about an inch or so, inch to 2 inches wrapped up around the side there. And then it goes up underneath. Doesn't fit especially tight. Doesn't fit especially tight across there. Makes a cut. Again, by the ductwork, it makes a cut. And then there's a section behind the heater controls here where it goes across. Looks good. Okay. And then if I come around this way, again, it should just kind of run below the pinch flange and around the seatbelt retractor and up over the back. Okay, so once I get this all peeled out and I start wanting to come back in with a new section, I can go back and review the video, and I took some still photos as well. Still got a couple more tasks here yet before I can get the carpet pulled out, at least the passenger side. I think the cargo area is ready. I did take some insulated wire, some stiff electrical wire, and lifted all the wiring harnesses and the heater controls and tied them to the crossbar for the instrument panel. And I do have a couple more wiring harnesses that I have to clear for the carpet to come out. The first one, and I'll have to remember to put this back, but there's a tie wrap here. So I'm going to clip that guy off, and then I'll replace it with a fresh tie wrap when I put the car back together. Need to have one at the front here. And then pull out the connector here of this switch. Find the tab on it. There it goes. Okay. So that one's free. The shift cables go underneath, so they're safe, or out of the way I should say. And I got a couple of more. There's a another clip for the wiring harness there. Another clip for it here. Pop that guy out. I've marked my connectors here. This one was already free. This one's a bulb. This one is goes with the parking brake. It's got a little latch on the bottom. And then this one looks like it's the feed. Make sure I get this right. Yeah, there is a latch right there. Alright, so that one came apart. So now, this wiring harness is clear. I can even probably tuck it up over top of the heater controls. Frankly, I think this is going to be a little bit of a challenge because this carpet is pretty doggone stiff. So when it comes time to actually pull it out of here and feed it up underneath the dash, oh, this could be fun. And I'm probably going to have to block the wheels and take it out of park, put the shift lever back, and that'll let it go over the top maybe easier. And I think I'm going to take out these 2 bolts and remove the parking brake lever, because its cable comes through here, and if I do that, then I can feed the handle through the hole in the carpet without cutting the carpet. I mean, there's some people. I mean, I suppose in principle you could slice it, and I guess I haven't looked at how the new one goes together yet. Alright, let's see if I can get this carpet, get the cargo area peeled out of here. It's kind of being held down with a little bit of body adhesive, but otherwise it's okay. Now let me go around the other side. Surprise, surprise. Okay, I didn't realize those hooks were actually screwed through the carpeting. My mistake, I thought they were underneath. Now let's see if we can peel that dude out of here. There it goes. I'll get that and take that out of here. And I'll come back and work on the front section. I think I'm going to start back here at the rear and see if I can peel forward. I didn't realize it was in there. There's a washer. There are a couple of plastic washers here for the seat belts. I can save those and use them in the new ones. That was right off the side. There we go. Carpet's molded and Keeps wanting to go back down where it used to be. Alright, peel that back. Alright, I have a lot of the carpet loosened up. I had to go take a lunch break and get dressed a little bit lighter. I was really, that's pretty, a lot of exertion to get this all torn loose. I've also decided that I am going to take this parking brake handle off. It's just going to be too difficult to try to feed things around it. So let's see, it shouldn't be too hard. You take the pin out and that pin out, and then let's see how hard this is. You got a bunch of tabs here that snap in. Shouldn't be too bad, but they're always a little bit tricky. And the end of this cable has metal tabs that spring out, and you got several of them that you kind of have to push in at once. There it goes. And turn it, and she slides right out. Comes through right there. But this will be a lot easier to slide the carpet over that opening. And I've also been looking at the new carpet. It comes with this hole cut for the shifter, because I ordered it for a console. It does not have these holes cut. So I will likely need to use this carpet as a template. I got two choices: use it as a template or try to lay the carpet in here and then cut the holes. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. This carpet is so well molded, I'll say, to the floor pan that it just keeps springing back in, and I get it out and then it turns around and goes right back again if I'm not careful. Down underneath. Trying to get these wiring harnesses tucked underneath so that it'll come over the top of them. It's going to be a lot of fun getting it back in again, you can tell. Yeah. Parking brake cable is stuck in the lining between the carpet and the backing. Right. So I managed to get most of it peeled off. And we're up against the shifter now. I don't want to mess up that switch, so I have to lift the carpet over the switch. Like so. I now have it completely loose, and I'm just going to clear some things out of the way and drag it out through the hatch. That looks like the easiest way to do it. And then I'm going to dig in and start cleaning up the floor pan and making preparations for the new carpet.